Hey guys. Hey guys, thanks so much
right.
for tuning in to twitch.tv/NickTanella. So I'm Dr. Sansa, and like I was saying before, we're actually going to begin some of our player profiles where really I just want to kind of highlight the who's in the FGC, you know? So with me is, hey, none other than Chris G. Chris, thank you so much for being on it, man. So, I mean, you're an esteemed player in many games. King of Fighters 13, you know, Mortal Kombat, Marvel, Street Fighter. So the things I actually want to know a little bit more about, tell us about you. Like, who are you? Where do you come from? What's your background? It can include fighting games or not.
Okay. Well, as my Twitter handle suggests, I am NY Chris G.
That's true.
From New York, born and raised most of my life. I've been playing fighting games most of my life, starting from Chinatown Fair, which is where I knew everybody. I grew up with everybody there.
You and Wong both, correct?
Yes, yes. All of them, they always went to the scene before me. So I came in a little later. I came into Third Strike, CVS2, which are both my favorite games.
Yeah.
I came into those games a little late, but for some reason I just wanted to keep playing. And so the more got beat down, the more I started to learn.
Okay.
And you know, I remember entering my first Third Strike tournament, and you know, I think I got second, my first major.
Oh yeah, no kidding. What major was that?
NEC was like 5-6 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, I lost to Justin. You know, obviously he destroyed me.
It's like Big Brother.
Yeah. And you know, after that, like I started to realize that, hey, maybe I am good enough. And so that kind of led me on a path to traveling, to going as many places as I can. And then I guess Marvel 3 came out, and that was where everything blew up.
I mean, I remember when your name first came up, and then that's when I heard of you, like during Marvel 3, and just like. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, from Marvel 3, I started making a good amount of money, and it enabled me to play every other game. And you know how like a lot of people, they'll go to tournaments and they go with a certain amount of money. Yeah. And, you know, they're like, all right, do I want to enter this game? I don't know. You know, I don't want to be a pop monster. You know, by winning in Marvel, it enabled me to just keep entering everything else. Even if I was just going to lose, I just kept entering.
So, like, Marvel became, like, the fun, like, gave you the
funds
to
play
do other
everything.
Stuff.
And after a while, I was like, oh, snap. Okay, you know what? Make top 3 randomly KOF. You know, make top 3 Street Fighter 4. And that's kind of when I started getting good in Street Fighter 4. Because it used to hurt losing all the time in Street Fighter 4. And, you know, going to tournament, you know, always being shy from top 3, you know, always getting maybe like 7th place or something like that. And, you know, I realized that, hey, if I just keep doing it, if I keep playing it, same way I'm going to start doing it now for Street Fighter 5, you know, maybe I might just break it, just go through, win.
I like that. I have a question now when you say all that. Everyone, you know, throws around that word, the hunger. Like that's become a very popular word nowadays, like the hunger. So, what is the hunger for you? Like, where does it come from? Is it the desire, like, you know, to be better, or, you know, does it come from losing and then proving that you can beat whoever you lost? You know, is it the money? Like, I mean, any answer is the right answer, but whatever it is for you.
The money part of it, I didn't know there was a scene like this, so. The money aspect didn't come until afterwards, until after I had won CEO. And I was like, oh, snap, you know, because they gave me a check, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty nice. But then they were like, there's a pot bonus of $1,000. And I was like, wait,
what?
Like, where does money come from? I had no idea, you know. So the money aspect was never a part of it. But the hunger came from, as Mike Ross calls it, the struggle.
Okay, yeah.
Most of my life, pretty much poor. You know, I've been on my own since I was 17. You know, I've had a rough start. You know, going to Chinatown Fair, staying there for 8 hours because there was pretty much nowhere to go. So I was kind of forced to get better or just be like another stereotype. You know, and the stereotype, obviously, for me, being from the Lower East Side, New York, would probably have been, hey, you know what? You can't go to college. You're going to have to get this boot-bop job, you know, making minimum wage, you know, stuff like that. And I never wanted to be like that. I always knew there was something more. And I couldn't take it. And I couldn't take the living conditions. I couldn't take wandering the streets for hours at end, you know, nowhere to go, nothing to do. So, you know, I'm glad that fighting games turned me into something greater. You know, and this isn't the final stop for me. You know, I don't want to be that guy who's, hey, you know, I'm just going to play fighting games my whole life. You know, I want to own my own business one day. I want to do what I guess the rest of my family couldn't, the rest of the people I know couldn't, because I still go back to New York and I could see people still struggling. I could still see people, you know, like not making ends meet, you know, still living with their parents, stuff like that. You know, people I grew up with, people I played with. And it sucks to see that, hey, you know what, hey, let's go hang out. And they're like, nah, still don't got the money. And I'm like, you know, I understand that, but at some point, like, you gotta break out of it. And, you know, I'm glad I was able to. So the hunger literally means I was hungry and I wanted to eat. And the only way I could eat is by taking other people's money. And as sad as that is, you know, a lot of people have that same backstory. And oh snap, yo, you want to eat? Take this $10. You gonna take it from me? You know, the money matches, the exhibitions, everything. Just take it.
Yeah, it's not a superfluous. Let's just gamble to gamble. Like there's stakes involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The quarter when you're in the arcades, Chinatown Fair, you know, I would go in there with $5, and that $5 would allow me to stay for like 6 hours with $5 whole. That means that each quarter would get me like 20 to 30 wins in a row. That's how I played. There was no, hey, you know, let's play nice casuals, pick your 18th different character. It was, no, I'm here to beat you, and I'm going to beat the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy after that.
You know what? I'm really glad I got to hear that story. I've never heard that story. I've never heard that's anything close to that. Like, you know, you're a pillar of the fighting game community, but I got to say that's pretty inspiring. I mean,
and you know, I know a lot of people, they hate the fact that I guess I talk like this because, you know, they're like, oh, you know, Chris G just cares about the money or whatever. It's like, at some point, could you really say that you're going to keep doing something over and over and over again for the rest of your life, or, you know, for the next 10 years of your life, and you're telling me you don't want any type of revenue to show for it, or right, you know, you don't
a retirement,
yeah, like
nest egg, yeah,
because you know, I would watch people, the sponsored players, and for me, like, sponsored was like, oh, you know, they're just gonna give you a stick. Here, take this stick, take this one flight, maybe somewhere, and you know, I was like, this isn't it. Like, I want more. Like, we all want more as players. We want to grow. We want the scene to grow. We want the tournament organizers to grow, and the only way to, you know, that's gonna happen is if you ask for it. If you don't accept like minimum stuff. So I want to be that player to be like, all right, you know what, I could get this, and I believe everyone else can get this, and the streamers could get this. Spooky can make all this money. Alex Valle can make all this money.
Right.
Watching League of Legends, all of them making all that money, and all you're like, one day it'll work out. One day, you know, hopefully sooner than later.
When the world catches up and realizes, once they pass that curve, you know,
yeah, exactly,
that you've already excelled upon.
And we're hoping that this game, Street Fighter V, is that game, you know, and I'm going to support it. I hope everyone else supports it, and I'm definitely here to play.
Dude, I like that a lot. I really do. Thank you so much for coming on, man, and
definitely,
telling your story. Guys, and, you know, this is kind of what we're talking about, you know, the C in FGC, community. You know, it's a collection of people, not just avatars. It's not a bunch of Ryus and Kens and Zangiefs. It's human beings.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
with stories.
We're not all random people who are entitled to anything. Like, you know, if you look at all of VMP, they all started from somewhere. Justin started from somewhere.
Yeah, everybody.
Like,
there's a point where, you know, the time you pick up your controller you know, it's first time, or joystick.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever. You know, so there's always an origin somewhere. And thank you so much for sharing yours, man.
Definitely, man.
Dude, we'd love to have you back maybe in the future. But until then, guys, thank you guys for watching and allowing Chris for sharing the story. So we are going to take a little break. And we're going to come back for some more. Remember to follow, and remember to follow Chris also if you haven't, because, I mean, there's going to be many more tidbits like that.
Yep.
Knowledge, wisdom, insight, all that stuff.
The truth, the actual truth.
The real burning truth.
The struggle that people make fun of Mike Ross for mentioning all the time.
Yeah. So remember to do that, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more interviews. See you soon.
Peace out.